Hey y'all, I just wanted to make a short video of some fig cuttings. We went to a neighbor at the road and she was gracious enough to let us take some cuttings off the fig tree she has, and we're going to show you how we took the cuttings and populated them.
We have a clear container or tote here that Russell is going to be drilling holes in the bottom of for drainage. It's raining, so hopefully you can still hear me. Definitely with the sand, you want to make sure you have really good drainage, so he's probably doing it every couple of inches or so. We'll go around the perimeter of it, as well as some holes in the center, and then we'll put some, probably like a shade cloth at the bottom to hold the sand in. The main thing, the sand is great for propagating. You just have to keep it moist, and you have to make sure that it is well draining. If you recall, we put in some hydrangea cuttings probably 2 to 3 weeks ago. You can see that they're already sprouting. Some have a few roots on them, some don't have roots yet, so we're just kind of playing that by ear right now. But this is more about the fig cuttings today. Like I said, he's going through the center. If it breaks it, it's okay. Don't go too hard or it will break a hole in it, just like that one. Just take your time and let the drill do the work, and it will eventually get through the project. You can see that he has put the shade cloth down in the bottom of the container, and what we are using is clay sand. This is the kind of sand that your child or grandchild will have out in the yard playing in. And we got, I think these are 50-pound bags. Yeah, 50-pound bags. You can get them from any big box store. Most local stores like your Ace Hardwares, hardware stores will have this. It's nothing special about it. It's just strictly clay sand. You don't really want the kind that has the big rocks in it that they use for concrete purposes. This is more just the standard clay sand. Now this is not the white sand, but it is clay sand. It's gotten a little wet on us. It's been in the back of our pickup truck, and it has been raining, so it does have some moisture in it already, which is totally fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix it with some of the soil conditioner and the pine bark mulch mixture that we use for potting. We're going to mix that in with the sand, not really half and half, just a little, because we don't want it to be all sand. And so Russell's mixing it in now, and then he'll take his hands and kind of mix it up pretty well before we stick the cuttings. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure you're getting it mixed in pretty good. You don't want it just big pockets of sand or big pockets of the soil. It really wouldn't matter. It could just be straight sand and it would be fine, but we're just doing kind of a mixture today. What Russell's going to do is, right now he's making some holes in the sand, obviously, just sticking one of the cuttings in it. You can put them maybe about an inch apart, inch and a half apart is plenty. Really, we're not growing them in here, we're just getting them to root. and that's the main thing. So you can see you can get quite a few in this tote. And what he'll do is he will score the end of the cuttings and dip them in hormone before putting them back in the sand.
So you want at least about a 9-inch long cutting, anywhere from 1/4 inch or a little bit bigger than a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. And you want to have at least 3 nodes up and 3 nodes down. So in order to do that, I'm going to cut right here, right below this node right here.
And what is a node?
Where the flower will come out, or the leaf will come out. But this will cause enough injury that it'll cause a root to start when we cut it. I'm going to save that. But I'm also going to take and score, make an injury on this cutting. That way, hopefully the roots will start through. You can do it that way. Some people come in here and notch it like that.
I think they said get down to at least the white.
Yes.
Because you see the green, you at least want to see a little bit of the white on the bark or
And
on
we're
the
going to
stem.
take some of this take root. Some people use the dip and grow liquid. This is the powder. This is what we got. You can do it without it or with it. I wouldn't recommend just dipping it right in the can or whatever. It'd take you some to pour out, but and you can see where the rooting powder, the rooting hormone has got in here to shake it off or whatever. That's why we made the holes ahead of time. That way you're not rubbing it off when you stick down in there. You want to stick it down, at least cover up 3 of those nodes. Just stick that in like that.
The homeowner that gave us these cuttings today, she actually had given us some last year and they rooted, but unfortunately I got too excited and put them outside in the ground, in the hard ground, too early. They did not have enough well-established roots and they did not survive. So I asked her for more and she was very sweet and told us to get what we wanted. I don't know what the variety of this particular fig is, but she and her family both have said they are the sweetest figs ever, so we're excited. And Russell's working on the cuttings, but the ones that we were able to cut near the ground, near the base of where she had been pruning already, you can see here they had already pruned this limb here, and we were able to come to the side of it and cut it off for her. And it actually has this one coming up here attached to this root, and then there was another one over on this side, and it was just, you can see it had roots all the way to the ground. We just cut off some of the roots and stuck them in some soil. Now I could have probably maybe gone ahead and put these in the ground, but we're supposed to get some cold weather here in the next few days and I didn't want to do that. So we have wound up with, it looks like 7 or 8 rooted, I wouldn't say these are cuttings, rooted starts, I guess, from these figs. Some are probably 3 foot tall, and we're just going to leave them here in the greenhouse for the next few weeks and see how they do. I will tell you also from experience, if you're doing cuttings on figs and you see leaves coming out, it does not necessarily mean that there are roots yet. The same situation with our hydrangeas. Right here behind it, you can see leaves are coming out, but we pulled up one of these earlier and there are no roots. So don't get too excited. Give them time. Keep them in a protected area, I would say. And it can take several weeks for fig trees to root. If you've got a clear tote like we're using on our cuttings today, hopefully we'll be able to see the roots when they start to emerge. But even when you see those little fine roots, like I said, don't get too excited and take them out and put them in the ground like I did, because you have wasted all your time and you're not definitely going to get any figs. You're not even going to get a bush or a tree that's going to be viable. So take your time and just enjoy the process of it. And nothing to do with figs, but I think I mentioned this in a previous video. We purchased a Meyer lemon tree last weekend, and I'm going to tell you, if you have never stopped and smelled the bloom on a Meyer lemon tree, or a lemon tree at all for that matter, you are missing out. These have to be the most fragrant things I have ever smelled in my life. I wish I could get a bottle of perfume that just had lemon blossom juice in it. It is so refreshing. It's so sweet. They're gorgeous, and it just fills the area that you've got it in. And they're very delicate. If you move it around too much, they will fall off. But I just wanted to show you a close-up of the Meyer lemon blossoms. And each of these, if they hang on, could potentially turn into a lemon, which is what we're hoping for. But again, if you're in a store, at a big box store, and they're selling these, and any of them have a bloom on them, you know the old saying, stop and smell the roses? Well, I say stop and smell the lemon blossoms. Okay, so we ended up with about 56 cuttings and a pot that has some little scraggly ones in it. We're not sure if they're gonna make or not, but we're not gonna put a lid on these, but they are underneath the table here. They're not on top, and they'll be in sun, but we'll just kind of keep an eye on them. And like I said, it could take several weeks for this to develop into anything. We actually have a lid and this tub of lupins on top of the big cuttings, so it is going to kind of keep the direct sun off of it. We will keep you all posted on these in the next few weeks and let you know how they do. We got, like I said, several trees with roots on them, and then all of these cuttings. So hopefully they will turn out. Thank you all, and have a blessed afternoon.